Day 10. In humble fear and hope. Behold, the eye of the Lord is on those who fear him, on those who hope in his mercy, to deliver their soul from death and to keep them alive in famine. Our soul waits for the Lord. He is our help and our shield. For our heart shall rejoice in him, because we have trusted in his holy name. Let your mercy, O Lord, be upon us, just as we hope in you. Psalm 33, 18 through 22. God's eye is upon his people. Their eye is upon him. When we wait on God, our eye looks up to him and meets his eye looking down on us. This is the blessedness of waiting on God, that it takes our eyes and thoughts off ourselves, off our needs and desires, and focuses our eyes on our God. We worship him in his glory and love, with his all-seeing eye watching over us, that he may supply our every need. Let us consider this wonderful meeting between God and his people. Note especially what is being taught here about those on whom God's eyes rest, and about him on whom our eye rests. The eye of the Lord is on those who fear him, on those who hope in his mercy. Fear and hope are generally thought to be in conflict with each other, but in the presence of God they are found side by side in perfect and beautiful harmony. This is because in God all apparent contradictions are reconciled. Righteousness and peace, judgment and mercy, holiness and love, infinite power and infinite gentleness, a majesty that is exalted above the heavens and a condescension that bows to the ground. These meet and kiss each other. There is a tormented kind of fear that is cast out entirely by perfect love. 1 John 4:18. But there is another kind of fear that endures forever in heaven. John witnessed the song of Moses and the Lamb being sung in heaven. Who shall not fear you, O Lord, and glorify your name? Revelation 15:4. Then a voice came from the throne saying, Praise our God, all you his servants and those who fear him, both small and great. Revelation 19:5. In our waiting, let us always fear this glorious and awesome name, the Lord your God. Deuteronomy 28:58. The deeper we bow before God in holy fear and adoring awe, in deep reverence and humble self-abasement, even as the angels veil their faces before the throne, the more will his holiness rest on us, and the more will our souls be ready for God to reveal himself. The deeper we delve into the truth that no flesh should glory in his presence, 1 Corinthians 1:29, the more will we be allowed to see his glory. The eye of the Lord is on those who fear him, on those who hope in his mercy. The true fear of God will not diminish hope. Rather, it will stimulate and strengthen it. The lower we bow, the deeper we feel we have nothing to hope in but his mercy. The lower we bow, the nearer God will come, and the bolder our hearts will be made to trust him. Let every exercise of waiting, let our whole habit of waiting on God be permeated with abounding hope, a hope as bright and boundless as God's mercy. The fatherly kindness of God is such that in whatever state we come to him, we may confidently hope in his mercy. Such are God's waiting ones. And now, let us think about the God on whom we wait. The eye of the Lord is on those who fear him, on those who hope in his mercy, to deliver their soul from death and to keep them alive in famine. The promise is not to prevent the danger of death and famine. This is often needed to stir the waiting on Him, but to deliver and to keep alive. The dangers are often very real and dark. The situation, whether in the temporal or spiritual life, may appear to be utterly hopeless. Yet there is always hope. God's eye is on them. That eye sees the danger and sees in tender love His trembling, waiting child. That eye also sees the moment when the heart is ripe for the blessing and sees the way in which it is to come. Oh, let us fear this living, mighty God and hope in His mercy. And let us humbly but boldly say, our soul waits for the Lord. He is our help and our shield. Let your mercy, O Lord, be upon us, just as we wait for you. Oh, the blessedness of waiting on such a God, a very present help in every time of trouble, a shield and defense against every danger. Child of God, learn to sink down in complete helplessness and impotence and to wait in stillness for the salvation of God. During the utmost spiritual famine or when death seems near, oh, wait on God. He does deliver. He does keep alive. Say it not only to oneself, but say it to each other, just as the psalmist speaks not only of himself, but of God's people. Our soul waits for the Lord. He is our help and our shield. Strengthen and encourage each other in the holy exercise of waiting, that each may say not only of oneself, but also of God's people, we have waited for Him. We will be glad and rejoice in His salvation. My soul, wait only on God.